Before we get started, I want to make one thing perfectly clear. MSR makes fantastic outdoor products. I own one of their pocket rocket stoves. It's small, lightweight, compact, and it works every single time. Don't even get me started on the MiniWorks EX water filter. This thing has literally been worth its weight in gold every time we've been out in the backcountry. Now, all that said, I do have to say that my experience with the MSR WindBurner has been rocky at best. I used this stove for the entirety of the 2019 deer season, and where I'm at in Alaska, that's approximately 5 months long. On the first trip out, this stove iced up 3 brand new MSR fuel canisters. I had to keep rotating them out. It took forever to get 1 pot of water to boil. And what was more troubling was that every once in a while, the entire stove would just burst into flames. Cue the B-roll. Now, it may look cool in slow motion, but when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you're hungry, it's super inconvenient. Now, ambient temperatures were between mid to high 30s, and my buddies, I believe they had jet boils. They were working just fine. Now, since I believe in second chances, and despite all the safety recommendations in the manual, I took this stove out on a second trip, and I'm happy to report that it performed much better. I believe it only iced up and stopped working once. Now, for the remainder of the season, the stove got the job done. I did experiment with different fuel canisters, namely Coleman and Optimus. Now, the WindBurner absolutely hates the Coleman. Every time you hook the Coleman up to the WindBurner, it bursts into flames, guaranteed. Now, whenever you put the pocket rocket on the Coleman fuel canister, the pocket rocket works absolutely fine. So it's definitely the WindBurner acting up. Now, the Optimus fuel canisters, they are on par with the MSR canisters. They work perfectly fine. Now, all that said, when the stove does want to behave, it works great. Heats up water super quickly, and it works great in the wind, as advertised. Alright, let's take a look at design features. The WindBurner comes in a sleek box with MSR signature red, white, and black color scheme. What's neat is that the entire system is contained within the pot. On the bottom is the base cup graduated with lines indicating measurements in millimeters and ounces. Covering the pot is a pot insulator, which protects your hands from heated surfaces and is detachable using a little tab located behind the handle. Starting at the top is the pot lid, which utilizes 2 types of pour holes. Next is the canister stand that works nicely. Very simple, works as it should. Below that is the stove body. Looking at the stove body, we have a small wire indicator. And when you turn the stove on, this glows once the stove is ready to start heating water, or you just look at the stove mesh, and once that starts glowing orange, you're ready to rock and roll. The burner rim utilizes 3 pins that lock the burner to the pot. Moving along, we have a stove grip, which aids in removing the hot pot from the stove system. Finally, we have the flame adjuster assembly. I think my stove is having issues somewhere in the flame adjuster assembly. I've inspected the O-ring and it looks perfectly fine. So at some point I'm going to send this back to MSR and they can dive into it and see why my stove just likes to burst into flames once in a while. Now, at the bottom of the pot is room enough for a small 3.9 ounce MSR fuel canister. Overall, the design features are great, and the build quality, you could tell, is high quality. The current price of the MSR WindBurner online is about $150. Now, it does appear that Jetboil is the more economical choice. I went online quickly and I found a similar stove with about a similar capacity, and it was about $110. Online reviews of this stove system are overwhelmingly positive. I suspect that I got the one bad apple in a batch of great stoves. I'll be sending my stove back to MSR for repairs, as the manual recommends that I shouldn't be using a stove which appears to be malfunctioning from time to time. As always, thanks for stopping by, and make sure you get out and go hike.